Hey guys, Zangetsu 134 here, bringing you the Kamen Rider recap for this week in my review of Kamen Rider Build Episode 18. So, this episode we finally get an introduction to Grease, played by the actor who played Otoya Kurenai from Kamen Rider Kiva. I will admit I like his actor. He's definitely a highlight of Kiva. In fact, I'd argue he's kind of what saves Kiva when it gets kind of rough. I'm a big fan of Kiva. I like the show. It's flawed. It has problems. But I like the suits. I like the action. And I like the idea of what they were trying to do with Kiva. I just don't think it completely did it as well as it should have. It definitely had some issues, but I liked it. And for those of you who aren't into Tokusatsu, Kamen Rider Kiva was a vampire-themed Kamen Rider series. The main character being a vampire. His power-ups were all based on classic movie monsters. He had a Frankenstein form, a werewolf form, a creature from the Black Lagoon form. And the idea was that the story was about Kamen Rider Kiva as he fought these creatures known as Fangires, which are basically stained glass vampires. And the idea was that you learned about the history of the Fangires and the history of this group that fought the Fangires from 1985 to then the current present of 2008. But like I said, it had problems, most of it being the fact that the head writer was Toshiki Inoue. Yeah. It's probably one of the few Toshiki Inoue series I don't completely despise. The other probably being Fies, because at least, while it's problematic, I guess it kind of was the point. But anyway, getting off track. So yeah, his actor plays Grease, the current Kamen Rider for Hokutou. And yeah, he appears and makes quick work of Cross Z, even in his charged form, as well as Build in his sparkling form. But yeah, he basically introduces himself as the commander, along with the Hokutou 3, and that he will be taking back the bottles, but he stopped because he realizes that Misora is Miton, his favorite idol. Which is so fitting since Otoya Kurenai was quite the ladies' man in Kamen Rider Kiva. So yeah, while this is all going on, Sento refuses to allow Ryuga to use the Splash Driver, stating to Ryuga that he wants to be the hero of Toto. In reality, as he gets a call from Owner, in reality, the Splash Driver will cause you to become addicted to the Splash Jelly and turn you evil, much like being exposed to the Pandora's Box. While all this is going on, Gentoku is finally discovered, and the others realize that Namba Heavy Industries created a Splash Driver for Hokutou. He goes to find Namba Heavy Industries and confront the head of it, only to find out that the current person there is his former assistant, the one he had killed. So yeah, this is a really good episode. I really like Grease so far. I like we get a lot of the backstory for the Smash 3 and Grease, that of them being forced to actually fight in this war, or at least the Smash 3 anyways, as they are doing so to protect their families. Whereas Grease has no memory, and I'm sorry I'm forgetting his name. I'm just going to call him Grease for a little while, or Otoya. I'm probably just going to call him Otoya a lot. But I'm going to call him Grease. Basically, he has no memories. He's very much like Sento, in that he has no memories of why he's doing this. But otherwise, more than likely due to the effects of the nebula of the Splash Jellies, he seems to be very much going berserk and only wanting to fight so that he can have a truly enjoyable battle, as we saw in the last episode when he was introduced. And so he goes berserk whenever he gets into a fight, and you can clearly tell that he is very, very powerful, and in doing so in this battle showed off just how much he is almost unstoppable. We also get some more showings of how the Splash Driver and the Twin Breaker works. Well, yes, you can use the Splash Jellies. You can also use full bottles, which will augment your abilities. Such as when he put the helicopter full bottle in, and he created a helicopter fan that he could fly around with while shooting the Twin Breaker. He also created a finisher with his helicopter full bottle and the robot jelly, which created a bunch of helicopter blades that he could use as a projectile. Showing that not only is he powerful, he also has a huge amount of combat skill with the Splash Driver and the Grease outfit as well. I also really love his rider kick. The shoulder pads for Splash Driver users are based on their full bottle, and his actually hang like they're not like connected to the suit like Ryuga's, where like the bottle nozzle connects into the shoulders and they stick out. His are vertical with the nozzle at the bottom, but when he uses his finisher, they flip, and then he uses them as a jet propulsion to kick. I really, really like that. That was a really neat rider kick. I like Grease in general. I like the fact that he's a gold robot compared to Cross being silver on a dragon. I really like the way that Sento didn't want to worry Ryuga and didn't want him to destroy himself using the Splash Driver. As while he is definitely strong enough to use the Splash Driver, A, it'll make him go berserk, and B, like you can clearly tell that the energy backlash is clearly like a little bit too much for him. Granted, Sento can't use the driver in general just because of the fact that it's still too, like, the Dragon Jelly, much like the Dragon Full Bottle, is too synced up with Ryuga to be able for him to be used. We also see Sento being really clever in that he didn't want to bring his full bottles so that the Smash 3 wouldn't get their hands on them. It's a little bit problematic as that means that Sento doesn't have Rabbit Tank Sparkling, which I don't know why, because he would have actually made really quick work of the Smash 3. But otherwise, he still does pretty clever using the movie exclusive Phoenix Robo, now Kamen. It's a different Phoenix Robo. I know in the movie, the previous movie, he had Phoenix Robo, and that it was what he used to defeat the bad guy. In fact, in that movie, I think Grease was introduced that movie. And instead he uses it here, as well as Smartphone Wolf. I forget exactly how you pronounce it. I know it, which I actually really liked its finisher, where it makes all these apps spin around, and then a wolf sneaks through the apps and like attacks. That was really cool. But yeah, it actually shows that Sento, even without the full bottles that he has, he can still make pretty good use of any other full bottle just because of the fact that he is Build. In fact, the Smash guys are like, so this is Build's power, and it shows that Sento is very good at using the full bottles, especially when they're best matches. It's no help against Grease, which eventually Sento and Ryuga both get just beat by him. And basically the two point out, like, Sento was going to almost get himself killed trying to use the Splash Driver, and Ryuga's like, no, you're all that Misora has left, and I can't let you die, which shows because, like, Owner basically betrayed her as well when he left, so, like, he's all she has. Even if he's not even if he's not a real person, he is now all that Misora has. So Ryuga's like, if I have to die, it's not a big deal. No one will miss me. Which kind of shows, Ryuga still doesn't get that, like, his friends care about him. Like, even if his fiancée is dead, he still, has people to care about him. But yeah, more or less as Grease is going to deliver the finishing blow to kill Ryuga, Sento gets in the way and ends up getting untransformed. And he tells Ryuga, don't say that no one will miss you, because that's not true. I'm not going to let anyone in this war die. I'm not going to let no one die. Neither my friends nor my enemies, which Grease takes a little bit of inheritance. He's like, dude, this is a war. Like, people are going to die. This is a war. Which is kind of weird, because, like, when Grease made his announcement to Toto over the news that he was basically like, you know, if you stay in your houses, we won't kill you, but if you try to get involved with this war, all bets are off. So it kind of shows that even Hokutou has some standards. But I will admit, I think they're going to try and play that Sento's ideal there is naive, but at the same time, he doesn't want to have this war. He wants to end it in a way that no one has to die, or that no one gets, and that there's a way to maybe perhaps bring Japan back to its original form of glory. But at the same time, he does not want to be like Gentoku or Bloodstock or Hokutou in general. He wants to, you know, protect people, because that's what a Kamen Rider does. So yeah, I also was kind of surprised that Gentoku's assistant from like 13 or 14 is still alive. Especially because like he got shot and fell into the water. I think that further proves that I think he's a robot. That I think he is like a robot, that like he's like the sentries that they have. But I don't know. So yeah, overall, I think that was a good episode. I like the fact that we gave Misora a little bit more to be in the plot now that Grease has a thing for her, and she will definitely be like his weak spot for probably a while. And Misora actually got a really cool moment, because her and the news lady, whose name I forget, because she really hasn't been in these episodes a lot. They end up taking the news lady's car, and Misora comes by and gives Sento Rocket Panda so that they can escape. And and that is where Otoya, rather Grease. See, I'm doing it. I'm just gonna do it because I'm terrible. Where Grease finally realizes that Misora and Niton are the same person. And that and the castle smash almost kills them with a laser beam that he has, and but he stops him because he doesn't want to kill Miton. But yeah, that's kind of where the episode ends. I will admit it feels kind of abrupt, especially when after like the battle is done, they cut to Gentoku going to Namba Heavy Industries. But yeah, overall, I think this was definitely a good episode, and I'm sorry I keep moving the camera around. I'm really trying not to get my face over exposed from the light. I think it's a very good episode. I think there are some great moments in it. I really like the stuff between Ryuga and Sento in this. But then again, that's been like the highlight of pretty much every episode, just because of the fact that they work so well off each other, and like their story is really good. I like the fact that we're getting some backstory for the Smash 3 in Greece. I'm curious to see where that will go. And overall, I've been enjoying the war arc really well. I think it's very well done, and I think we're going to see a lot more really good stuff coming from this show. So yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I'm sure we're gonna have to wait more because there's no DuckTales. I'm going to try and see if I can maybe find some other vlogging stuff I could do. To kind of make up for the fact that I just only have one vlog a week now. I thought about going back to Garo, but I'm having some trouble finding like a good place to watch Garo at the moment. I'm probably going to have to start torrenting Garo if I really want to return to doing Garo vlogs, especially because I'm so far behind, and they're making a new season as we speak. I know there's making a movie, and then they're making a new season, and I would really like to return to Garo because I really liked Garo, and it was kind of fun revisiting all the series. Unfortunately, I think only got up to Beast in the Midnight Sun, and then Kiss Asian disappeared. And even now, Kiss Asian is not nearly as good as it was. I can't play it on Google through Google's player, and there really hasn't been a lot I've been wanting to watch. Hopefully I'm gonna try and get to see Black Panther when it comes out, and otherwise it's kind of a slow time of the year because For those of you who don't know, I live in Pennsylvania, and if you've been seeing the news, Erie, PA, which I'm like 45 minutes away from, has been having major snowfall, and when that happens, basically everything around it gets pretty badly snowed into. So it's not like I've had a lot of time to go out and like buy movies or stuff. I'm also thinking about doing some other special stuff down the line. We'll see how that goes. But otherwise, guys, I think that's going to be it for me. So this is Zangetsu 134, signing off. Have a pleasant day, pleasant afternoon, and I will see you then. Until next time.